Roman Fury, welcome to Osman Boxing. Big fight on the way. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, I'm feeling ready, and I can't wait to put on a good show.
You're new to the fight game in the ring, 2 fights so far, but you're obviously no stranger to the fighting atmosphere and environment. How have you grown up in this fight game?
I've always been around it from being a young boy. You know, many people look at me and think, oh, I've only just put the gloves on a few years ago. But, you know, from growing up, I've always been around it, you know, going on the pads with my father. So yeah, I've always had a good idea about how to box and how to fight. And, you know, it's kind of just in the last 2 years where I've got myself in good shape, turned my life around from what it was. And I've got the opportunity now, so I'm just putting everything I can into it to give myself the best chance.
The obvious comparisons are going to be made, and it's not a new argument. There's been fighting families before. It's often an unfair comparison. You look at people that have already dominated their field and their level. Do you feel any weight of expectation on shoulders, given that certainly your older brother Tyson has done that?
Yeah, I can see why people would see that. And of course, you know, the last name that I have, it carries a lot of pressure because everyone's, like you say, comparing me to Tyson and, you know, to Tommy now. But me, myself, and the character I am, I only do the best I can do, and I don't put any unneeded pressure on myself. You know, I know that the training I've done will carry me through these fights, and as long as I'm doing everything I can and not leaving any stone unturned, then, you know, I don't see why I should, you know, feel any pressure. You know, I'm fighting for me. I'm not Tyson. I'm not Tommy. I'm Roman, and I'm trying to make my own name. So, you know, that's all I can do: train and keep doing what I'm doing and enjoying it. Because if you're not enjoying it, then you shouldn't be in the game, should you?
100%. We saw, obviously, Tommy's training camp the last few weeks, very publicly with his dad, like you say, with your dad. Tyson, obviously, very close and trains with his dad there. Do you have the same setup? Do you train with your father, John, as well, or do you have a different team?
Yeah, so I did the full camp with Tommy because I was supposed to be fighting, but that fell through. So I did the full 9-week camp with him. Up there at Mottram, it was a great experience. I loved it. You know, we have a tight, close circle, and that's important for us. You know, we don't have anyone that doesn't need to be there. Everyone's got a good role to play, and it's good for focus. You know, I was able for 9 weeks to just focus solely on boxing and training, and it was the best shape I've ever been in my entire life, and I've carried that on now to the 10th.
What age did you start realising boxing was a realistic avenue for you to go down? What age did you think this is actually happening now?
I'd say about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, because prior to that, you know, I wasn't on the right path with my own life. You know, I gained a lot of weight. I was very overweight, 20 stone actually. So I always wanted to do it, but I never thought I could do it because I couldn't lose the weight. I couldn't commit to anything. You know, I was jumping job to job. I just didn't have any discipline. So realistically, I thought, how could I do this? But then lockdown happened, and I had the chance to go and train with Tyson and Tommy and my father, and that, you know, that kind of changed things for me. I kept going, I kept sticking in, and the weight dropped, and then that's when it started to become realistic that I could do it for a living. You know, once I started seeing the results and proving to myself I had the discipline to carry it on through, and proving to my family, you know, I've got to prove to people that I want to do it because it's a serious sport, boxing, and if you're not committed, then you're going to get hurt, aren't you? So about 2.5 years ago, yeah.
That's a remarkable weight loss story. 20 stone down to that, and obviously, again, sorry to make the comparison, but Tyson similarly had the weight loss story. How was that when you were working with him in camp? Because that's you know, you've got Tommy who looks the part, certainly has the figure and everything else. Tyson who's come down from that weight to where he is now. You've done exactly the same journey. I assume that must have been the perfect camp to have around you.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's the best person to come for advice, isn't it? Tyson, he's done one of probably the best comeback in boxing history, hasn't he? So, you know, it's good to have him there to talk to. And yeah, just the morale in it. It's hard to do it on your own, isn't it? But when you've got the right people around you, pushing you and motivating you, it becomes the easiest thing in the world, isn't it? And, you know, after a while, I just started to love it and enjoy it, and here we are now.
What were they like in camp? What was it like being with them on those grueling mornings where you've got to get up early and stuff? Who was the motivator? Who was the one that sort of drove you in the air? Who was the one that maybe picked the tunes? Who pulled rank on the stereo? What was it? Give us a feel of what it was like in the camp.
Yeah, you know, it's different when you're on your own. Say I set an alarm for 7 and I want to go running, but you're on your own. You don't really have to get up, do you? Because it's up to you and you're not letting anyone down.
Snooze.
Exactly, it's snooze, and that's what I always do. But when there's other people there and we all say, all right, you've got to be on the road outside meet at, let's say, 7 o'clock. You've got to be there because you don't want to let anyone down. and you can't really, you know, if one day I maybe would have hit snooze, he would have been in my room tearing me out of the bed, you know, so that wasn't an option. But I just thank God every day for it, because it's just, right now, every morning, I have like an automatic clock in me and I can just get up and do it, whereas 2 years ago, I just, getting out of bed in the morning was the hardest thing possible, and I thought, what's wrong with me? But you know, from doing that now, it's become like second nature.
You seem very calm and softly spoken, if you don't mind me saying. Tyson and Tommy, certainly in recent fight campaigns, have been maybe the opposite. What can we expect from you in terms of fight promotion and build-up? Is this you, or can you get a bit riled if an opponent presses certain buttons?
Of course I can, you know, I'd like to see myself as a laid-back individual, but at the same time, you know, everyone's got a temper, haven't they? And it's a fight game, so, you know, if people want to pick problems with me, then let them try, do you know what I mean? And they'll wish they wouldn't want to have done that, you know. But, you know, as you see more of me, I'm just a laid-back character who's enjoying life. But at the same time, I know it's a business and people want to see that, you know, a bit of build-up, don't they? So 100% I'll be delivering on that as well.
Does the John Fury throwing a table come out? Is that in you? Is that gene in you?
100% it is in me. It just takes a little bit of getting out. But I've been taking notes off my dad, actually, you know, of what to do and that, so it's all good.
Does anyone sell a fight as well as John? Does anyone sell a fight as well as John Fury?
I don't think so. I mean, what you seen for the KSI fight, it was another level, wasn't it?
It was, you know. Yeah. I've worked a long time in the fight game, and I've not seen that kind of thing before. So what happens in Brighton? What are you looking to make? Is this a progression fight where you want to get some rounds in? Is this you given the opportunity to make a statement and get someone out of there early? What happens in Brighton?
Yeah, as long as I just box and do what I've been doing in the gym, you know, it should be an early night. You know, I seem to have, you know, just clicked now from in the last couple of weeks of training. Something's clicked in my game where I've just stepped it up, and I'm landing my shots better now. I'm more relaxed in there. And you'll see it with every fight, and every fight you're just going to see a better version of myself. You know, it's my third fight, no amateurs. So, yeah, but at the same time, it's a great opportunity. I've got lots to prove, so I can't wait to go out there and put on a good show, you know.